Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley, where we talk about people and organizations in town that make Tinley Park a really great place in which to live. And as we all know, Tinley Park is a pretty great place in which to live. This program is brought to you every month through the works of the Community Resources Commission. Volunteers in the commission do the programming, and we have our high school students and adults helping us out behind the scenes. So it's truly a volunteer effort of the Community Resources Commission and our volunteers to put this program on every month. Hopefully you're enjoying the winter so far. That it should be over with by now. Let's hope it's all over with by now. Coming up in April, firstly, my name is Ron Centenni. I'll be your host tonight. Glad to talk to you about this. Discover Tinley was April 11th. There's going to be, or April 11th, when you listen to the show, hopefully you had a chance to go see it, where we have the Community Expo every year out at the Convention Center. Always a great show to put on, and all the different organizations and some of the business in Tinley Park. So Discover Tinley, the yearly event sponsored by the Community Resources Commission. Spring is coming up. Next month will be a very interesting show with some gardening and also a few other things that will be interesting to the citizens of Tinley Park. Tinley Park is kind of known for being one of the few villages in the area with a good artistic bent to it. We have probably the only artistic visual arts center in the south suburbs, the Vote Visual Arts Center over right south of the train station. And so Tinley Park is known for some of its artwork, but we have a kind of a unique thing in town here. A local business has put up a mural on the side of their business, and we haven't had too many murals up out inside Tinley Park. So we'd like to talk about a special mural that has some historical significance in Tinley Park, and we have with us here Tammy Shoemaker, who is responsible for that mural.
Well, hello, Ron. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Now, where's this mural located at?
The mural is on the side of our building, Tinley Auto Repair. Okay. The address is 17600 Duvon Drive, kitty corner from the missions facility that's in Tinley Park. So right off 175th between Harlem and 80th Avenue is where our business is. It's on the north side of the building, so as you come down Duvon Drive, you can't miss it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. It's a huge thing there over in the side of the building there.
It is, yes.
Well, okay, briefly talk about it. We got kind of a, well, first of all, what prompted you to even do something like this in the first place?
We did a lot of remodeling inside of the shop. We kind of revamped the whole inside as far as the layout, added some extra office space, and cut some holes in the back wall, made more garage doors, more lifts inside, so more workspace and just a better layout to it. So in the process of doing all that, we painted the outside, and I wanted to do something more. But my husband and I love to do trips down Route 66.
Oh, my favorite. All right.
And we did a trip several years ago with the kids, and we went down to, actually with quite a big group, and we went down to Cuba, Missouri. And it's a Route 66 town that just has, they're known for their murals. The entire town is just murals, and they're very intricate murals where it looks like you're looking into the building. And I just thought it was fascinating. It just totally dressed up the building. It was an eye catcher. It was wonderful, fantastic. So I wanted to do something like that. And my background is teaching. So I love to do things with the students, and you know, I kind of wanted to pull a little bit of that back into it. So I had the connection with Dr. Nolan over at Tinley Park High School through the Chamber of Commerce. We knew each other, being on the board of directors together, and we started discussing this. And it was a discussion that happened and took place for quite a while. It took a little while to get the timing down on our side, on her side, and all that. And we were able to coordinate it, and the students did some research on, you know, in talking with me, the students and the teachers, and they went back to their class with some information, all the historical information and what it was that we were wanting to see and liked. And they came up with a couple different designs that, you know, they wanted to present to us.
Did you give them an idea what you kind of wanted, though, to begin with, or do you leave them wide open?
We were very wide open. You know, I
Okay.
mean, whatever, I wanted to see what they could come up with. I didn't want to hinder their creativity with it at all. I honestly didn't really have a picture in mind of what I wanted. I wanted to do something, and I wanted to involve the art students with it. I thought this was what a wonderful, fantastic opportunity for them to have this huge canvas to do it on.
That's a good word, huge, it is.
The fact that it's a cinder block building put a little bit of, it adds some complications to it. So because of the cinder block with all the holes in it, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So what I did to prep for it was we took block fill paint, which is extremely thick, and I painted that whole side of the building by hand with a paintbrush, not a roller, with a
Now,
paintbrush.
you said you personally?
I personally did this because I wanted to make sure it was all good for the art students, that I didn't want them, after they painted it, for it to, like, you know, sink in and be like pockmarked, you know.
Okay.
So so they came back and they had some ideas, and the teacher took a little bit of everybody's ideas, incorporated some of it, and added some of his own, and brought to us a design, and it was absolutely wonderful. We made a couple little tweaks with it, made it a little bit more. The original one had tires on the back
Now,
end.
here's kind of an idea what the mural looks like here. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we can talk about it a bit. So what, you know, so they came up with.
So they came up all of the front part. The first part of it was all original up to the car. Where Made in the USA was originally our logo. We did take that out because we weren't looking for the signage there. We just, you know, wanted the mural was more of what we wanted. So we did go with the Made in the USA, and it actually extended out further, out longer on the building. We shortened it down. So we just took out, we had a scan tool there, a computer scan tool that we use in the cars. And so we took that very last part out just to shorten it up a little bit so it wasn't quite so huge.
Okay.
And
Let's
we
talk
had
about what's it depicting. You know, talk while you're with it. What's the significance of this particular scene? There is some historical significance to it, isn't there?
a lot of historical significance to it. A lot that people may not even realize. Tinley Auto Repair, we are the oldest auto repair shop in Tinley Park. We're going on our 45th year here in Tinley. We originally started off as an Enco gas station on the corner of 183rd and Harlem.
With the northeast corner, right?
The north, right where the Egg and I is sitting.
Yeah. I remember that.
That was Enco gas station. My father-in-law started off there managing the Enco gas station, and in the back bays, he started with working on cars. Enco pulled out of the Midwest, and he just moved to a couple of different locations on Oak Park Avenue at that point, and just, you know, kept with the auto repair. And then moved over to the location we're at now on Duvon Drive.
Now, when did they move away from 183rd and Harlem?
You know what, that I'm not entirely sure. There was a span of a few years where they were between 183rd on Oak Park Avenue. We are at the location we are in 1978. So there was like about 8 years in there between being on 183rd and Harlem to then being on Oak Park Avenue to then having the building built and actually getting there.
Because I remember I came into the village in '72, and I kind of vaguely remember the station being on that corner there when I came in the early '70s.
Yes,
So.
yes. I want to say they were there probably till about 74, 75,
Okay.
somewhere in that area.
Okay.
So this is depicting our our beginnings as at the Enco gas station, and like I said, from in 1970 is when he started over there, and the fact that the old gas stations, again, the Route 66 love that we both have, like to find all the old little gas stations and just, it's old Americana.
And that's when they were called service stations
Service.
back then.
Oh,
you were
full
actually
service,
full
yes.
service. You actually got cars repaired there.
Yep.
Attendants actually put gas in your car.
Exactly.
But cars got serviced at the stations there.
Right.
They did everything.
Yep, I've heard lots of stories of them talking about, when they would cut off gas sales after a certain point, so people would be lined up outside the gas station to get in to get the gas before those sales got cut off due to the rationings and stuff.
Right.
And then the Roadrunner
Yeah.
that was something that my husband remembered when he was a child. That was the car that his mom and dad had when he was a little baby and went to go see, drive-in movies in and stuff when he was really young. So that was something that he just loved. They had a different kind of car there, of course. I mean, cars with the auto repair shop. There was a different one there, but he said, no, want the Roadrunner. So, but if you get up close, this is a very unique Roadrunner.
Oh.
Because on the front, it is not a Plymouth Roadrunner, as it should be. On the front where it says Plymouth, the art students put Titans.
Oh my.
So it was very subtle. It's hidden in there, and
Oh,
it's very cool. I loved the touch that they did with it.
Okay, so viewers, if you go see this, notice that
Got it.
very unique something that people may
Search-
not ordinarily know.
Search for the Titans. So that was that was the mural they did when we had our grand opening back in grand reopening back in May. We had the art students come out and they all signed the mural. So these are all the students that worked on it. The 4 high school seniors. They were seniors last year. Casey was CF Designs and Tinley Park High School.
Do you remember the name of the teacher? that did it?
Casey worked with the high school and he was a teacher out at the high school.
Okay.
So he did a lot with it.
Okay.
So it was a lot of his design to it. And he even took, every time that they were out, he had a camera that he sat out and it was constantly running. And he made a YouTube video out of it.
Oh my.
So it's YouTube and it's on Tinley Auto Repair mural on the YouTube channel. And you can go see it and it's a very quick run through. It's like about 3 minutes long, but it goes from very start when they did it all in the chalk line to the very end.
Oh my.
So
Wow.
it's very interesting to watch. You see all the movement and all the slowly being created.
Wow,
So-
that's going to be fantastic.
It's absolutely wonderful, wonderful.
And I guess you've had some other publicity about this too, right?
Yes, it's actually ended up in, all the newspapers around here have covered it. We have had it in the Napa, we're Napa Auto Care Center. And Napa, when we did all this, they loved it. They sent out corporate, came out and looked at it and checked it out, and they loved it, and they put it in their magazine. It's a nationwide magazine for Napa Auto Centers.
Now, when did this mural go up? When did you do this?
This was a process last year.
Okay.
So it was finished. It was finished at the end of 2013. So and spring of 2014, they came up and did a couple little finishing touches to it, and then all good for our grand opening that we had last year.
Wow.
So
Fantastic.
it was a wonderful, wonderful event, and the Tinley Park High School students, they just did a great job. So,
yeah.
and we're looking to, hoping to, in a couple years that we'll paint over it, sadly, but
Oh, I
paint
don't wanna
over
hear
it
that.
and have the high school kids come out and do a whole different mural.
Different
It would be, I would love to see something like that happen every couple of years
Okay.
to give, the new classes the same opportunity.
Yeah.
So, because it was quite a, they all said, to have that in their portfolio for the ones that were moving on to art, and just to be able to say and be a part of it, and to have that kind of canvas, that huge canvas to have that experience.
Well,
So.
thanks for coming on Discover Tinley and talking about it. It's something unique to Tinley Park. I don't think there's any other murals around, and a little historical significance to it. So good luck to you, and we're looking forward to see the mural on Duvon Drive.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you. Well, it was kind of interesting talking to somebody with some art for Tinley Park, and as we know, Tinley Park has been very good at being kind of the culture center of the south suburbs, and a lot of art down there, especially historical art. So I hope you get a chance to see that mural on the wall for some historical viewpoint for Tinley Park. Our next guest has something to do with some history of Tinley Park, and that she and they've been involved with the program that's been around for a while, and that's our Tinley Park Farmers Market. I hope you have had a chance to go and see that sometimes. And we're lucky enough to have the director of that and a volunteer today, Becky Nichols and Ellen Clark. Welcome to the Discover Tinley.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah. Okay, what is the Farmers Market? For people who maybe have not gone there, what is the Tinley Park Farmers Market?
The farmers market is farmers, but it's also crafters. There's also food to purchase. They're all small businesses or just out of their home, like an Avon lady would be there. We have a guy that sells hot dogs off of a little cart. Actually, I think this year it's going to be his daughter doing it.
Knitters.
We have people that knit or people that make baby clothes besides our farmers, and we've got them coming from right here in the South Chicago area and also as far away from Michigan and as far north as Harvard.
Oh my goodness, they come all the way from over there.
Yes, that's our corn, our
yeah.
hybrid corn that we
Okay.
get, and that usually comes in about
Late
mid-July,
summer, yeah.
July, somewhere in there. But yeah, that's a big draw. The corn is.
And the farmers market has all kinds of fruits and vegetables and everything, right? Don't
Correct. We've got fruits, vegetables, flowers, plants.
they? Okay. Yeah, I've seen some of that. I particularly like the pastry lady that comes there. I always get some pastry there.
Yes, that's very
And
good.
the bread truck there too. So
Right,
yeah.
Labriola bread, and we have the
The
Amish
Amish.
that
Oh,
come
that's
from
right.
Indiana.
Yeah, their
Okay.
cheese is very popular.
Yeah.
Cheese and butter.
Their pastries.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So you
Yes.
got quite a gamut of people that come in. It's not just fruit and vegetables. There's all
Right,
kinds of
last
things.
year we had 65 vendors.
Oh my.
A few were weekly, but most of them pay for the entire season, so they're there every week unless they have an odd engagement, a wedding or a kid's graduation, or they're too ill to be there if they catch a cold, or things like
Okay.
that, the other things that get in their way. But
So you pretty much have mostly the same people week to week, but you have some new people interspersed in there too. then.
correct. Most everybody is there every Saturday.
Okay.
A few of the vendors, like I said, are only there like maybe once a month or whatever. Whether they just don't feel that their product would sell every week. Like I have a man that sells leather goods, and he doesn't feel that people will buy them every week, so he doesn't come every week. We have another lady that sells homemade baby items like baby ties or pacifiers, and she can't come because she's got kids and other reasons why she can't come every week. So.
Okay. And I understand you've got other things besides just market stuff. But you help out with the other end of the activities. What kind of activities things are
Every
there?
Saturday we have a face painter for the kids. Starts at 9 o'clock, and we do a craft every Saturday at 9 o'clock as well. I brought some of the fun things we'll be doing this summer. Butterfly pinwheel, bug sun catchers, caterpillar finger puppets, daffodil pinwheels, 3D flower kits, door hangers, foam door hangers. A lot of the kids come right to the table every Saturday. Their parents kind of drop them off to do their craft, and they go shopping and then come back and pick them up when they're done. So
And all that's free.
And all that's
Okay.
free. Yeah,
Everything
the face
that's-
painting's free and the
Oh.
crafts are free every Saturday.
my.
Start at 9 o'clock.
And they go through the first Saturday of September. Because once the kids go
Okay.
back to school, they usually don't come to the market because I don't think they want to get up on Saturdays.
Saturday, right.
Probably. Well, let's talk about when is it starting and how long does the season go?
Early this year.
This year we're starting a week earlier than normal. We're starting May 30th because Memorial Day weekend is a week earlier in May. And Memorial weekend is kind of iffy because a lot of parents want to go take off, and so it hasn't been attended very well in the past when we've been open on Memorial Day weekend. But Memorial Day weekend is early this year, so we're going to start on May 30th, and we'll go to October 10th. That's the second Saturday in October. It's every Saturday, so it's 20 weeks, and we're 7:30 in the morning till noon, and it's right at the Zabraki Plaza, which is 173rd and Oak Park Avenue, I think.
By the train station.
By the train station, there you
It's
go.
at the
yeah.
metro station.
Metro station.
By the fountain.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, there you go, by the
We're right
fountain.
by the fountain.
By
Yeah.
the fountain.
Can't
there.
miss us on a Saturday morning. Way too many people.
Oh, yeah, I know
Tents.
it.
And tents and trucks and things like that. So yeah.
Oh my! Wow. Okay, so you got quite an array coming this summer for the market then, huh?
We do. I'm hoping that they all, or most of them, come back. We do have some new people that have are wanting to come out, and we've agreed that they could come out. We haven't gotten the contracts back yet, but we'll see what who comes and.
How do you
who doesn't.
decide who comes? How do you make a determination who
Well, we
comes?
try not to duplicate any vendors.
Okay.
So everyone has a fair share, cut so to speak.
So they're making money, because if they're not making money, why do they want to come out?
Right.
So we do want to make it so that like there are two vegetable farmers.
Well, plants and vegetables and things, but as far as crafts and services and stuff, we try and limit
Right.
it to just one, so that person that does come out makes money. But we try-
Food vendors too.
Or food
it's,
vendors
like one
too.
guy's selling hot dogs, another
one does tamales,
right.
so
we're
we don't
gonna
have anyone else doing that.
egg rolls hopefully this year too. Will be a new item out there.
Egg roll. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we like to have it homemade, or we don't like purchased items.
Yeah, I've
some more
noticed that,
farmers,
especially when I go to
crafts.
these pastries, and I always ask them, "Is this homemade stuff?" Or they always say, "Yeah, it's
Yeah.
homemade stuff." Though
Yeah.
They have to be inspected kitchens. It can't be just made out of your own kitchen. It does have to be a state inspected kitchen, and they do have to have a food handler's license. And those are
So some restrictions.
there are
Yeah.
restrictions on the food people, but so it's safe, so that the that we're not having people just smoking cigarettes and making something and bringing it to the market. That's not the way it is. It's very they're
So it's
looked at very
professionally,
rules.
closely. Yeah.
Lot of rules.
professionally organized and
Correct.
looked after and supervised. So yeah, not just anybody can walk
Yeah,
in.
the health
and say-
inspector does come and
Oh.
view them and everything, so make sure everybody's washing their hands or doing whatever they're supposed to.
Oh my! Oh wow! How'd this get started? And I understand you are one of the first,
I
right?
am a founding member.
Okay.
It got started back in 1997.
Oh my!
Actually, well, might have been 1996. The Main Street Commission went on a field trip. I wasn't on the Main Street Commission at the time, but they went on a field trip, and they decided they wanted two things. They wanted a river, and they wanted a farmer's market.
I mean, a field trip for what?
They were to try and bring
To
business
improve
to
downtown.
bring business downtown, and
Okay.
what other communities have that brings people downtown.
Okay.
And they said a river and a farmer's market. Well, we couldn't bring a river, but we could bring a farmer's market. So we started a farmer's market.
Oh.
The first meeting was they were asking for volunteers at a Oak Park Avenue Main Street Association that was down at Gatto's.
Oh,
Not
wow.
Gatto's. What was what was
Castos.
no.
No?
Oh. Where?
Who?
They just tore it down. It was the Blue Fox. What was it before
Oh,
that?
Gamboni.
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 Oh,
Gamboni.
geez.
And that's 1996. Our first summer was 1997, and it's hilarious because we sent out letters. We sent out. I mean, I drove around everywhere between Tinley and Homer Glen to every farm and put letters into every mailbox personally to try and get farmers to come to us. And
Oh, jeez.
we were so afraid we were going to have nobody that we actually, one of the guys went down to the market downtown Chicago and bought a bunch of fruits and vegetables and was almost giving them away that day, the first day of the market. It was very sparse and very, because it was like nobody knew about a farmer's market back in 1997.
Yeah.
They knew of farm stands, but not of a market. So it was kind of funny that we started. It was so humble, so sparse, so very few vendors, and now we turn them away because we don't want duplications.
Okay.
Like I said, we had 65 vendors last year. I'm expecting to have at least that many,
Yeah.
if not more.
You must have been one of the first. I don't remember many villages having farmers markets before that time. Was Tinley probably one of the first or earlier ones to do something like that?
In the south suburbs,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
One or two claim that they've been around longer, but I don't really think so.
Okay.
Or running as consecutive. Tinley's been running consecutively since 1997, so we're restarting our 18th year this year, this summer. So
Now, who actually runs it? What is it? An organization, or are you it, or who actually runs this place?
there's a committee that decides. We vote on vendors and what their product is. When we first started, or through the years, a lot of businesses have wanted to be there, like chiropractors and hair care people, and it's just kind of like, no, that's really not what we want. We try to keep it more food related or summer related items or homemade items, like doll clothes are homemade by a lady, things like that. A few of them have gotten off the track a little bit, but we're going to try and reel it back in a little this year. Like, there's people sell flip-flops, but that's summer related. So, in Tupperware, that's food related, So at Avon, she's got
Bug spray.
Bug spray, Skin So Soft for your dogs or people. I mean, you can use it, but it's a great deterrent for flies and bugs on your animals.
And you got volunteer. I mean, this is a volunteer committee running this, right? For the most part?
For the most part, yes. We do have a corporation kind of that has to be the back end of it because we are not run by the village. We pay for all our services for the village.
This is not a village-run thing. That's
correct.
Okay.
We fill out an event permit. We do, we pay for the public works and things like that we have to, that the village asks us to pay for. So.
Okay. So it comes out of the profits and the money you make a little bit.
Yeah, it does. And the reason why the market was started was it was trying to draw business or people to the downtown area. It was started with the Tinley Park Chamber, Oak Park Avenue Main Street Association, and backed by the village, by the Main Street Commission, who oversaw the Oak Park Avenue Main Street Association, which was then business owners end of it. And then slowly it just became its own entity and its own being and self-sufficient and running itself. And, those dropped off. And we used to have... It
runs itself.
Yeah, we used to have a car show. We had a business expo. But it was... The vendors were not liking it because it was taking away from them, and they're paying to be there.
Okay.
So they... we didn't have to have it anymore.
Okay.
So
well, real quick, we got about a minute left. Why is it important that this Tinley Park to have something like that? What's the advantage of the village?
Well, it brings a lot of people downtown. I've had a lady who told me that she's a grandma from Joliet, and she rides the train every Saturday with her grandkids to our farmers market. I've had people tell me that they come from the north side and the south side. I mean, just they come from all over.
It's a wonderful event.
Okay.
Just to come out and shop and walk around, do the crafts.
It is.
And people hang out for hours.
People stay for hours.
They do. They drink
bring
coffee.
their dogs, drink. Yeah.
Oh,
It's just something to do on a Saturday morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a very nice event.
It's
it really is.
Destination, huh?
Yes,
And
kind of.
it's 20 weeks, so it's a long running. I mean, it takes a lot of commitment on our part, and it's just and I think it's important because all these people that are vendors there. I mean, some of them that's their livelihood. Maybe it's not paying the gas bill or the electric bill, but maybe it's paying for the ballet classes or the volleyball class or the baseball or whatever, the little extras that aren't so little anymore. It costs a lot of money to do that with kids. Or it's a place for them to come and just be with people.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on our show, and thanks for talking about the farmers market, and hopefully you'll have a successful season this year and do well. And I would encourage all of you, come out. If you haven't been out there, come on. It's kind of a neat place to come to, and there's a lot of good things out there, some healthy food out there, and enjoy the atmosphere of the farmers market Saturday mornings over by the train station and the fountain. Until next month, we'll see you next month, and hopefully you have a good time and enjoy the spring.